Sorry about that. Apparently when you turn the heater on, just to warm it up a little bit, some people get a little too hot, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. You would think that weekends are meant to relax and everything, but yeah, people like to do chores, who knows. But anyway, wanted to come on here and do a bit of a follow-up. Shout out to Andre Meadows, once again, of Black Nerd Comedy. He talked about this during his cereals video he did about a month ago or so, where he talked about certain things that were cereals, licenses and stuff. And it was during that he did a kind of an advertisement. And what he did was talk about this thing that I have in my hands, the BOSE SOUNDLINK Flex. And he said that BOSE had sent it to him, and I guess it was a way for them to thank him, for, I guess, shielding their products or something, or just, to get maybe him as a potential sponsorship partner or something. So they sent it to him, and this thing had been out for about a year. So I'm assuming they sent it to him during its 1-year anniversary of being out. And basically, he gave us an example of what this sounds like, and he is not lying. He is not wrong when he says that this thing packs a definite punch, because it does. Because I don't know if you can really see it well there, but when you look at it like from a distance here, you can see the speakers like right here. They can see the big bass speaker here, and then another speaker like right here, the two little speakers right here. And then on the back, you got a speaker as well that helps bring it all out and everything. Even more so. And I wanted to test this out for myself. Once when I got it, and again, shout out to Andre, because he gave me pretty much the idea to to get my hands on this. And thank God I have a job now that once in a while I can do this. Like next week I got to focus on the cable bill and stuff like that, which is why I save a little bit more money here and there. But if I'm a little ahead of myself, I will get stuff like this for myself, as well as get stuff for my mom in the process. But yeah, he sent me this and everything. No, not he, but I bought this. I should say I bought this off Amazon, and this thing's got 5 stars. And I talked about doing the unboxing of this. There are some 1 stars, 1.5 stars, half stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, 3.5. But those are very few and in between. A majority of what you're going to see, on Amazon or other sites, or even here on YouTube, is recommendations that are in the 4, 4.5, but majorly in the 5 star, mostly 5 star, just about, because this thing lives up to all the hype that's behind it. I mean, there are some people, and I talked about this in the unboxing, that will compare it to the JBL Bluetooth portable Bluetooth device that came out around the same time, as well as the Sony one that came out around the same time. And some people will say that it's kind of on the same level, sound-wise and everything. And some would say, Sony's a little bit better than both of them. Some would say JBL's better. But a majority of people that will talk about this, even through comments on sites like Amazon, reviews and all that, reviews on Amazon and all that, as well as here on YouTube, a majority of them, will say BOSE, outdoes both of the new JBL one and the new Sony one that came out around the same time. And I think, being someone that doesn't have a JBL portable device or Bluetooth device or a Sony one, I can definitely say that this definitely lives up to the hype of what everybody says it does. It definitely lives up to that, because what you could do is you could have the volume on your phone. You can have the volume on your phone, well, which I'm using right now, but you can have your volume on your phone up to midway. The Bluetooth volume for the connection. When you connect this, I should say, you can have it basically halfway, halfway, like 50%, maybe even 49% in volume, and it still sounds good. Still sounds really good. It sounds like basically, it's at a level that's decent. Now, if you want to go a little higher, let's say you want to have a party and everything, and this is the only thing you want to bring out, out or you want to utilize, then yeah, you can go all the way. But and I will tell you this: the more you go up, the more bass and tremble, bass and tremble you will hear out of this. The sound gets louder, but it definitely packs that punch. You can definitely feel like it'll vibe. It basically, because here's the thing: I have seen people, put in their reviews either on YouTube, but mostly on places like Amazon. I've seen people, come out and say that when they put this up against the wall, yeah, it sounds great, but it's also all vibration. So that tells you how good, this really is. If it's vibrating the walls a little bit, and let's say you go to the next room and you can hear it definitely from there. But yeah, this definitely does pack a punch, because like I say, all you have to do is have this like at the halfway point, maybe a little above, a little down, and it sounds great. Even when you go a little lower and lower, just in case like somebody's trying to talk to you or whatever, this will sound good. It sounds great. And again, I think the added advantage of it has the bass speaker right here, two little speakers here, right, if you will, a speaker right here, like the bass speaker right here, like a subwoofer right here, and then the speaker right here as well, which I think is like two little ones, and then you got the one in the back, which is pretty cool. And you can definitely feel, you can feel the vibration too. Like when the music is playing, you put your hand to this, you can feel that music coming off the speaker. So I really like that. Now, like I said, it does have the options on the top for power. That's your power button. That's your putting the volume down. That's your audio. That's basically your speakerphone mic, if you will. And that right there is up in the volume, and then that's your Bluetooth connection. Now, what's interesting about this is Bose does advertise that they have a Connect app that you can download, which I did. And what it does is it connects. It not only helps you connect your Bose device, detect it and everything, if you will, but it also connects to your Spotify or your Amazon or your iTunes or your Pandora or your iHeart, or even your music, your MP3 music app, if you will. Basically, the kind of apps that you would download to where you would basically insert or add in songs that you would either download, you would buy and download from places like Amazon, so that if, let's say, you don't have internet connection, you can still listen to them. It'll connect to that as well. So I got what I have is like the PI music player app, the PI music player, and it will connect to that. So just in case you don't want to go back to the music player or anything like that, or back to your Spotify or your Amazon or your iTunes or your Pandora or your iHeart, what this will allow you to do with its Bose Connect app is you just go to the app itself, and you'll be able to switch over the songs. Like, it'll show you the title of the song and who's singing it and all that, and then you could just go back and forth and everything on it. The only thing you have to do with your Spotify, your Amazon, or your iTunes, or any of the other apps I've talked about, is if you like to have a shuffle playlist, if you like to put your playlist on shuffle or smart shuffle or whatever, because smart shuffle is part of Spotify. But if you want to put either one of those on a shuffling choice, if you will, then that'd be the only thing you have to do, because then all you have to do is just use the Bose Connect app, to basically, go from there. Just basically say, okay, I'm going to go from here to here to here to here to here, or whatever song you want, and especially if you're doing random shuffling and all that. Now, with that said, it does, of course, come with a USB-C. I did use that, and the USB-C is actually pretty nice, because what it is it's kind of like I look at it the way they designed it, like a mini HDMI cable that you see nowadays, where it's more rounded and everything. In fact, let me bring it out and just put it back in. So let me bring it out here. But yeah, this is the cable, the USB. What? Sorry about that, but like I said, this is the USB cable that came with it, the USB-C cable, and as you can tell just by the way it's designed, it does remind me a little bit of, of a, basically of a modern, HDMI cable. Now you can bend it a little bit, and it probably won't do much, so that's kind of cool. But if you have extra, USB-C cords and everything like I do, it'd be highly recommended to use those just in case, let's say, something like this might get damaged or something, which I don't think it will, because Bose's reputation, from what I understand, is they always make sure everything is of high quality. They always make sure everything is of high quality and such. So, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, if you have an extra, HDMI cable like what I have here, or not HDMI, but extra USB-C cable like I have here, that's the best way to go. This here is an adapter, because this is a two-ended USB-C connector, so I had to get an adapter to help out, and that helps out a lot. But yeah, always make sure you have like an extra one of these around. And what you do is you connect it, like I said, to here, and what you can do is basically, I'm sure a lot of you have these lying about. You can use any kind of USB adapter, if you will, USB AC adapter, hopefully. And this is a Samsung one, but you can use any one just to basically charge the BOSE link with. You could use anyone to charge the BOSE SOUNDLINK Flex with. So, that's kind of a cool deal. Or if you have a surge protector that has the USB connections to it, like one or two USB connections. I mean, I have one in here that has two USB connectors. I have one in the rec room that has two USB connectors. And I know that they have the surge protectors that are only USB connection, period. So, to me, if you have something like that as well, then you don't have to worry about an AC adapter. Just connect it to there and you're good to go. But overall, outside of that, the sound quality for this is really good. Now, you have to be aware that when you do get it, new or renewed, but my recommendation is new, no refurbishing, no useness, just completely new, fresh out of the box. You got to be aware that just like a lot of devices that you might buy at a Walmart or Target or wherever, or even Amazon where I got this, you got to be aware that it's going to be like around 50% or less. It'll still play right off the bat, but it's going to be like a 50% or less, or at least around 50%, maybe 55 at most. So what you need to do is charge this right away, so you get up to 100%, and it charges real quickly. Even when you're playing it, it charges real quickly. It may not seem like it to some, but it does. It does charge real quickly. I mean, I was playing, I was testing it out, playing some of the songs off my playlist, and it was charging. I would check, it would say like 60%. I would check, and not even a few minutes later, it would say 70%. And then I'd check in a few minutes after that, it would say 80, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's kind of a good thing to note, to make note of, that it will charge, at a decent speed. It will charge at a very decent speed, as well. So I like that. I really do. I do like that. Like I said, it'll charge at a decent speed, so that's pretty cool. What it'll also do is it's got a little voice in there, little AI voice. It'll let you know when it's connected, Bluetooth is connected, when it's disconnected, and all that from your phone or whatever you're using it, or whatever you have it connected to. It'll let you know that it's been connected or disconnected. It'll let you know when it's ready to pair and all that, and I think it'll also let you know when it's charged. It didn't say it was charged or anything, had it plugged in, but it will let you know. And if it doesn't, which I don't think it does, but I haven't gone that far yet to see if it does that. But if it does, but if it doesn't, which I don't think it does, but again, I haven't, I just tried it out, so I haven't, like I said, I haven't gone that far yet. But basically, the light here will blink. There's a light right here that will blink when you're charging it, and when it stops blinking, it will. That's the indication that it's charged. And like I said, I don't think it will say it's charged or anything, but when you unplug it, it will make a sound. It will go doo-doo, and all that, just to let you know it's being unplugged and it's ready for use, portable wise, if you will. But overall, I like the device. I really do. I do like it so far. It's lived up to the hype. It does have little grooves here on the back. I don't think anybody's on the bottom here. It's got like little grooves here. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got little grooves here. So when you stand it like this, it'll groove. And then like if you put it on like this, it has little things on the back as well. So that's pretty cool. Now he said it did. He did say it was the size of a just about the size of a Nintendo Switch Lite, if you will, which I would not be surprised. And just holding it definitely feels like it's the size of a Nintendo Switch. There's no doubt. It definitely feels like it's close to the size of a regular Nintendo Switch, just by the length. Not the width, but the length. But yeah, overall, like I said, I actually like this. And I'm going to keep trying it out more so over time. But it's definitely, to me, it definitely lives up to the hype. Like I said, you don't need to have the volume up, all the way. You just have it like halfway, 50%, a little less, a little more, and it sounds great. It sounds, it basically has the it basically is at the most acceptable sound I think you can have. Like you go in the other room and have this halfway and it'll sound great. You'll be able to hear it, in my opinion. I haven't tested that yet, but I think that's probably a very strong possibility. But if you have a party and you have a lot of people, yeah, you might want to have more than one of these, as Andre put it, and then link them together, because that's the other thing the app allows you to do too. It allows you to link multiple devices, multiple devices of the SoundLink Flex together, so you get that surround sound of music if you want to. Like you could have this, like I can have this right over here where my figurines are. I can have this. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to show you. Yeah, there we go. Like I can have this over here where my figures are and everything, and then I can have another one like right here where the camera is, and it would sound good. Or I can have it right on the I can have it right on one of my speakers on my dresser right now, and it would sound great. Or even have it on top of the sound bar I have right now, and it would sound good. That it would sound good. Probably more so than it does now, because again, I would have two of them bouncing off each other in a surround sound kind of manner. But yeah, he does recommend that if you're going to have a party and all that, that basically this is, you need to have two of these. I would say that one of them is just good enough, because you don't have to worry about that too much. Right? If the party's not that big and all that. And if you do blast this loud enough, I think this would be good enough for just, just on its own, in my opinion. But yeah, big shout out, like I said, to Andre Meadows and everything, because I think he got this basically about around the time it was celebrating 1 year. BOSE was celebrating 1 year of its release coming out, and a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people have commented that this is probably the best portable Bluetooth speaker they've heard and owned in a while. Again, like I mentioned earlier, people make comparisons to the JBL one that came out around the same time and the Sony one that came out around the same time. And even though some say these are all like, on equal ground as far as sound goes and quality, and some would say that Sony and JBL are a little bit better. Sony better than JBL, JBL better than Sony, and both basically better than BOSE. Even though they would say that, a majority of everybody else, and I mean like, I would say you have how do I put this? You have like, you would have 25, I wouldn't say 25, but uh, you would have basically 15% and 15% in favor of the JBL over Sony and Bose, and Sony over JBL and Bose. You would have 15% of them saying, or 15% of them saying that those are better. That, like I said, you have 15% saying that Sony's is better than JBL and Bose. 15% saying, JBL is better than Sony and Bose. But basically, after that, you would have 70%. 70% saying this is the best one. 70% of them. Now, it does come at a price tag. It does come at a price tag initially, right off the bat, all new. If you're getting it new, right, like I said earlier, fresh out of the box, you're getting it new, fresh out of the box, it's going to be about $149, $149.99, $149.99. That's what it's going to be. Now, if you're going to get it used, like new, and all that, refurbished, it'll probably cost you about $125. But again, you're going to be taking a risk there. You also have the option, depending on where you get it, to put a plan. I didn't do that this time because if I decide to get another one, I probably put the plan on that one instead. But this, I just want to, try it out. And so far so good. But yeah, it's but yeah, it's actually cheap when you think about it. As far as Bose products goes, it, along with the Bose mini speaker, are probably the cheapest ones you're going to get, fresh and new. Not like I said, used or like new or refurbished and all that. But that's your choice if you want to go that route to save some money. But if you want it like right out of the box, fresh out of the box, new, never touched, and all that, straight from the factory, this, along, like I said, with the mini speaker, are the cheapest ones that Bose has to offer, and I think it's worth it. I think it's really worth it, especially if you can afford, especially if you have the money to do it. Thank God, like I said, I have a job that allows me to do this once in a while, or at least every few weeks, if I'm not, if I don't have to face a massive bill and all that. Like I said, this week I got to do cable, which I don't have a problem with. But yeah, this is definitely worth getting, in my opinion. It's definitely encouraging me to get a Bose soundbar because, again, one of the things I hear about with Bose and the soundbars, especially with those commercials they do, is just the soundbar alone makes it feel like you're, in a theater-like setting, just the way, the sound comes off and everything. So it is making me consider doing something like that. But outside of that, though, that's something for the future. Maybe the way future, who knows. But outside of that, I definitely recommend getting this. I definitely recommend getting it. From what I've tested so far, it's definitely worth having as one of your choices and everything. I mean, I have this here. I bought this when I was at Target last year, and it has good sound and everything. It's from Soar, from the Soar company. They were licensed out by the MLB, and I think they're also licensed out by NFL to do these Bluetooth speakers, and they sound good. I mean, they even have the commentators that do like the broadcast and all that. One of them doing the intro saying like "Let's go" and all that. So, so they sound pretty good for what they are, but you have to go a little higher in volume with them. With this, all you have to do is, like I said, have it at mid-range, 50%, maybe a little less, a little more, and it's good. You're fine. You don't have to blast it all the way unless you're having like a major party and everything, and all that. And like I said, if you want to lower it, it's still going to sound good, especially if you have to talk to somebody on the phone or somebody's asking you to do something. It's, even lowering it makes it sound really good. And yeah, that's all I can really say. That's all I can really say on it. But that's just about it for my overview of the Bose SoundLink Flex from what I've tested out so far. Definitely highly recommend you get it, and I recommend you get it new. If you want to get used, like new, refurbished, that's your choice, but I recommend getting it new. It'll be worth it in the end. And again, big shout out to Andre Meadows of Black Nerd Comedy for, inspiring me to inspiring people like me, but to get this and everything. And he is right. It's definitely worth getting, because it definitely packs a punch. I mean, he tested it by putting it up to his mic when he was doing the video, and he had the little thing on the bottom left hand corner of his screen saying from music, music from the speaker. And even then, I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. If it's just and when I listened to that, I was like, oh, well, that sounds pretty good, even for something that's being recorded, advertised as part of or not advertised, but sponsored, advertised, recommended, as part of a recording. I thought that sounded really good. I was thinking, oh man, that sounds good and everything. And, I know people would question that and everything, but hey, I listened to it. I listened to my own music on here and stuff, and it definitely sounds exactly like what it sounded like there. So, he's definitely right in that department. He's definitely right in that department. And he even did a recent one, little short, where it's it's him and himself basically going back and forth on the music's changing during the holidays, like Halloween time. You have a part of him that's doing the spooky music, and then you have the other part of him walking around or walking into the living room. He's all dressed up for holiday, Christmas and all that, and he turns this on, and he turns on Christmas music. He did that. He did that, and again, just that alone, the stuff sounded great. The music sounded great coming out of there. So, again, big shout out to him for inspiring me and others to get this. It's definitely worth everything he says it does. It definitely packs the punch, and it definitely lives up to the hype. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. If you've gotten something like this, if you have gotten the BOSE SoundLink Flex, let me know down below in the comments or on the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Again, big shout out to Andre Meadows of Black Nerd Comedy for inspiring on this. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. So until next time, I am out. Take care. God bless.